Welcome, everybody, to our Shelter in Place Festival. We hope that you are all safe and well and healthy. All right, our first play that we are having in our lineup is The Art of Hugging in the Age of Social Distancing, written by Aaron Settle. And we are starring Jovane Camaano, Kathleen Smith, and this was directed by Brendan McMahon. Enjoy.
The Art of Hugging in the Age of Social Distancing by Aaron D. Settle. Cast, Presley and Marco. Act 1. Presley sits on a bench reading a book. Marco walks onto stage dressed in mismatched sweatpants and a hoodie. A pink leash is wrapped tightly around his hand. He looks disheveled and lost. He pauses and looks around the park unsure before starting to walk toward Presley.
Are you okay?
Sorry. I lost my dog and haven't really been myself. I'm a bit of a mess, to be honest. Sorry if I scared you.
Oh no. How long has she been gone?
2 days, maybe 3. They sort of run together now.
Well, I can help you look. I mean, from a safe distance, of course. We can even look in opposite directions if you want. Or we can walk together and I'll stay at least 6 feet apart. I'm really good at social distancing. What's her name?
Her name was Sophie.
Sophie!
But that's not going to work.
Well, it won't hurt to try. I really don't mind. I'm not doing anything.
No, I mean, it won't help. She's not that kind of lost.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought that, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. It's the leash. I don't know why I carry it. Well, that's a lie. I know exactly why I carry it. I got Sophie when she was a puppy. I knew she was the one as soon as I saw her in the shelter. She had so much energy, but I didn't make the connection that all that energy would translate into a huge pain in the ass. She wanted undivided attention, which was fine because it's just me, but sometimes it was a bit much. We walked twice a day, every day, for 11 years. We would go at 7 in the morning and 7 at night every day, rain or shine. At 6:58, she would go sit by the door and look back and forth between the door, her leash, and me until I got off the couch and came and got her. Every day, like clockwork, for 11 years. And then she was gone and I didn't know what to do, so I walked.
What happened? I mean, if I'm not being too nosy. If you don't want to tell me, it's okay. Just say it's none of my business. It's okay, it won't hurt my feelings. People tell me to mind my own business all the time. They also tell me I talk too much. Sorry. And I apologize too much, just for the record.
No, it's okay. It wasn't the virus, if that's what you were thinking.
Oh, no, I didn't think that. I just forget I mentioned it.
She was just old. It was going to happen when it happened, shelter in place or not, regardless if I was ready or not. The pandemic played no part in it.
But it isn't making it any easier either.
No, it's definitely not doing that. For the first day, I just laid on the couch, staring at the ceiling, afraid of turning my head and seeing something that reminded me of her. The next day, I got up, grabbed her leash, and started walking. I didn't know what else to do. At 7, we walk. It's what we do, so it's what I did. I walked the exact same route that we always walk, and then at night, I did the same thing. One thing I learned rather quickly is when you're walking your dog, people are really friendly. They wave at you and tell you how pretty your dog is. If you walk the same route without a dog, Suddenly, that weird guy in the hoodie just walking around. I mean, the same people who waved at you last week look at you like you're from another planet and dare to do it during a pandemic. And everyone looks at you like you're obviously up to something. I mean, why else would you be out walking during a pandemic, right?
I swear, if it was any other time, I would hug you. In fact, I might still hug you. Even though I know better, I'm tempted. It just seems like the right thing to do, but it's not. Do you want me to hug you?
No, please don't. I doubt it'd do any good regardless.
There's nothing a good hug can't make at least a little better.
I don't know about that. But I do know that I wouldn't forgive myself if you got sick trying to comfort me instead of taking care of yourself. I'm enough of a mess without throwing that into the equation.
You're probably right. It was selfish of me anyway to risk you getting sick just to make myself feel better.
You're not trying to make yourself feel better. You're trying to comfort me, but I'll be fine.
As long as we're bonding over dead pets and social distancing, I might as well be honest with you. This whole thing hasn't been easy for me.
What?
All of this, the virus, the panic, the social distancing, people fighting over toilet paper, all of it.
It's a lot to deal with.
Yes, yes it is.
Maybe just focus on one or two things.
Mostly it's the social distancing. I'm not wired for it.
I thought you said you were good at it.
No. I mean, I did say that, but no, I am not good at social distancing. Apparently I'm good at lying, but I suck at social distancing. Although I never really realized it, I'm a people person. I like people. More importantly, I like to make people feel good, or at least better than they're currently feeling. And if I can do that by giving someone a hug, I'm going to do it. I'm a hugger by nature, and not being able to hug folks because you're afraid of getting them sick or even killing them is just too much. So much that I'm bothering a total stranger who just wants to walk with the memory of his dog through the park.
I'm not a total stranger. I mean, you know my dog's name. So more like strange, but not a stranger. I'm Marco, by the way.
Presley. See what I mean? I'm hopeless. My first instinct is to touch. Hell, my second through sixth instincts are also to touch. My sister says I'm a contact junkie. Maybe she's right. I don't know. I just know that, to me, physical contact is how I connect to another person. And losing that is just really hard for me.
Yeah, losing stuff is always hard.
Shit. See, there I go again, saying the wrong thing. I'm sorry. And now I'm apologizing again.
It's fine. It really is. You're trying. That's all you can do.
You promise I didn't make it worse.
You didn't make it worse. I don't really know how it could get any worse. But no, you didn't do anything to make it worse. Actually, this is the most human I've felt in days. See, you can touch people without actually touching them.
Well, thank you.
I should get going. Sophie would never let me stay in one place this long on a walk.
Presley goes to stand up.
Damn it, I don't know why I'm standing up.
Old habits, I guess. But don't try too hard to break them. This is going to end eventually, and a lot of folks are going to need hugs, me included.
You find me, and I promise I'll have a hug for you.
I'm going to hold you to that.
He waves at her and then begins to walk away, absently tugging at the leash wrapped around his hand.
Marco?
Marco turns back to her.
I think I actually felt that. You know, you might be onto something there.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm so glad I ran into you today. Well, not ran into you because that would be poor social distancing.
Yes, it would, but we already established that I suck at social distancing. So,
I think you do just fine.
in case I don't see you again, stay safe.
You too. And remember, you know where I'll be at least twice a day for the foreseeable future.
Fade out. End of play.
Well done, actors. Well done, director. And amazing job to Aaron Settle for presenting us with that work. We are so excited to debut it in the Shelter in Place Festival. Aaron, if you will come onto the screen, we will do our Q&A. And audience, if you have any questions, hi Aaron, if you have anything, please just go into our feed on our Facebook page, ask away, and we will try and get in all of our questions. So Aaron, you are muted right now. So if you could unmute yourself. There we go. Awesome. I would love to just introduce everybody to you. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and where you are sheltering in place?
I own a comic book store. I'm sheltering here in Rowlett with my family.
That's amazing. So what inspired you to write this play?
A couple things. I was talking to a friend of mine on the day that the order went in place in Dallas. She had come up to the store to pick up some comic books for her wife and was talking about how difficult the whole social distancing was for her because she is a hugger. And so I started thinking about that and the whole idea of touching people without touching them, and then just kind of snowballed.
That's awesome. These characters are very distinct and they both need each other in different ways. Obviously, Presley needs Marco for the people time. She is a people person. And then Marco needs her kind of for comfort. He just lost his dog. What built into the development of these characters and their conversation?
The way I write is I pretty much, once I figure out the characters, I just let them loose and let them talk and then go back and clean it up a little bit, but I let them be their own beings. So once I realized who they were, I just kind of put them out there and they did what they did.
That's kind of how it happens. It just kind of creates itself. That's amazing. And do you have any more works that you are working on for the time being? Are you working on something else?
I just finished the first draft of another short play that I came up with just because I'd had another reading done on Zoom a couple weeks ago, and so I decided I wanted to try to write something for that format. So I finished the first draft of that this morning.
That's awesome. So do you primarily write plays? Do you dabble in musicals or anything else in the art world?
Pretty much, I've just been trying to write plays. I have a daughter who's an actress, and I have another daughter who's a lighting designer. So yeah, kind of been playing with that.
Talented family. Awesome. So I really liked in the play when Presley obviously gives the hug to herself towards Marco. what do you think is going to change? What do you think social distancing is going to change? And do you think that we are going to be greeting each other differently?
I think it's already starting to change how people do things. But yeah, because I think, well, for example, I think there's going to be a lot less handshaking because people, it used to be an instinct. You see someone, you extend your hand, and now you don't. And I don't know that we'll go back to that.
Right.
And then the other thing I was just thinking is I notice now that instead of goodbye, I tell people stay safe. And I think that's probably going to stick around too.
Yeah, I mean, it really has changed our world. I really like that you still found ways though for the characters to connect at such a deep level. So do you think adding to that, just because our greetings change, do you think the connections will be as deep as they were before?
I think they'll be as deep. We'll just get very different way, but the end result will be the same. It will just be a different path.
Yeah. I would love to talk about a little bit how you write. So do you have a storyboard? Do you just, as you said, kind of let the characters flow? Do you have several rough drafts? Because I know we have a lot of aspiring playwrights in the audience. So what advice would you have for them on starting a piece and creating?
This one was weird in that I had the idea and I took like 2 runs at it and it wasn't working. And strangely enough, until I came up with the characters' names, it didn't work. I came up with the characters' names and it was done 15 minutes later. It's like they didn't want to talk until they had names. But what I usually do is I come up with an idea, I try to write it, and then I usually also wind up just thinking about it and it runs through my head at night, and then I'll wake up and it'll all be there and I just have to type it out. And then I play with it for days.
That is awesome. Will you be submitting it other places from here?
Probably. I mean, I like it, so it makes me happy.
Yeah, it's a really good piece. I think it should be submitted to other places. And we will sign off here. Any advice do you have to aspiring playwrights?
Just to keep writing. I mean, that's the hardest thing for me. Sometimes I get distracted or down and I stop. But I mean, if you just keep doing it, then you actually produce really neat stuff. So
yeah.
Aaron, awesome. I have one quick popping in from the abyss of the internet here. At the end, I wonder, do you have any questions for the audience? I know normally if we weren't in this virtual format, you'd be able to look them in the eye and ask them what they thought about certain things, but do you have questions for them? Because if you do, you can say them now and our viewers can comment after they watch the video.
I don't know. I guess not. I didn't think about it.
And that's okay.
Totally all right.
Well, we will definitely keep an open dialogue, and you are more than welcome to answer questions on this feed once it's live. And if any of our audience members want to ask questions after this goes off live stream, please continue to ask. We will tag Aaron in it and he can answer your questions. And congratulations, Aaron.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. All right, everybody, we are going to start another live stream here in about 10 minutes. So come back here at 2:30 and we will be performing Coming to You Live. We will see you then.